And I have a disclaimer.
Yes.
Don't ring the bell.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. What an exciting afternoon it is, considering that I've just arrived, landed from South Africa, delayed yesterday due to the G20, and I said, come whatever may, I must still be here. I must come out and be part of this gathering. I am so honored to be here. Before I get into my formal speech, I'm going to be very informal or be real, rather, let me use that word. I am a Sotho girl from the farms of the Free State, so I always am a farm girl, proudly changing the world one African country at a time and moving the globe so we can emancipate, evolve, and empower ourselves. So standing here, it's really a beautiful moment, acknowledging first Tolu on my right, my brother that I have known for the past 3 to almost 4 years now. And when he spoke of this event, I said I will have to make time and be here, not only because he is in Spain, because the AU Agenda 2063 simply says the Africa we want. And I believe as he's out here, he's doing beyond that, gathering all of us from different spectrums. But there's a conversation for another day. I'm going to try to stick to time and stick exactly to what I'm here for and speak briefly about why I'm here. I'm going to observe all protocol, acknowledging excellencies, distinguished delegates, esteemed organizer, Tolu yourself, thank you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to observe all protocol. It is an honor to speak here today, especially at a time when my home country, South Africa, is hosting the G20, marking a historic moment for Africa as a rising voice in the global economic development agenda. Over the past 1 week, I had the privilege of attending both the SU, Startup, and the BU programs platforms that reflected the boldness, the innovation, and the growing responsibility that Africa now carries within the global economy. These conversations are no longer just conversations, but they are reaffirming one message. Africa is no longer emerging. Africa is asserting. And why is Africa asserting? Standing in front of you, I can see myself playing back home as a growing girl. To stand not only on this globe, but to proudly say Africa has made me who I am, being a Pan-African. I'm the youngest female in the country of South Africa at the age of 20, turning 21 to serve the office of the president under my former boss, former President Thabo Mbeki, who spoke so strongly about the African Renaissance. Being 21 and serving in such a high portfolio, in such an office, you've got two things. I said, number one, you're a female. Number two, you're young. And with those alone, you're already challenged. You've got two options. You either flight or you fight. Yes. And the fighting or the flighting does not mean you physically fight. Yeah. It means you're going to have to immerse yourself mentally and be socially strong. And when I mean of socially strong, I'm saying women are no longer defined by economic development only because even with your money, if you cannot speak, if you cannot stand, if you cannot advocate, your money will not save you. So women are rising up to be beyond the finances that we of course do require, but we want to have to be strong voices to sit in rooms where we walk in, the first thing that we say, and I always say it proudly, once you do business, you enter a boardroom, there's neither male nor female. There's neither race nor creed. There's business people. So you don't define yourself by your gender anymore when you get into economic rooms as a thought leader, as a female leader, as a woman speaking for the girl child. We're going to have to stop just using gender. We're going to have to empower ourselves socially to say, we are here, we exist, we are ready to evolve, empower, and emancipate. I'm going to go to the closing remarks before the bell rings because I know I pretty much have not very long speech, but I'm going to try to focus on the main points of being here and pretty much stick to the program. And I want to highlight a bit on Spain and why I'm particularly impressed with Tolu doing this in Spain. Most of you or all of you probably know that Spain serves as an important bridge between Africa and the European Union. The country plays a strategic role in strengthening cooperation across trade, tourism, culture, technology, and development. So this engagement reflects the broader spirit of the EU-Africa partnership, which is built on mutual growth, shared prosperity, and deep people-to-people relations. As I sit in this room, I had somebody from Zimbabwe, somebody from Botswana, former First Lady, and everybody who's here, as a daughter of the soil, I've happened to be in all these countries. I've been in 37 African countries, standing alone as a female. When I left my early career, I was 25, turning 26. I was not this round and voluptuous. I was very bony. So you can imagine this bony girl getting to these countries all by herself, with vision, with dream, and determination. And the social empowerment of saying, I am protected everywhere I go because I've got one power beyond money. I can speak. And that speaking will take me to the next level. So I'm glad to hear that Zimbabwe is here, Botswana is here, because truly Africa is rising for a time such as this. I'm going to talk a little bit about the entity that I now represent, Women African Tourism Board. When I was called in after the COVID, I was actually requested to serve under the African Tourism Board. And I said I will have to decline. And I'm declining specifically because while we have this boards that seat organizations, what is the parity element? What is the representation of females within these organizations? I then went and sat down with the UN and said, I can do this provided you allow us to insert what we call Women African Tourism Board that will focus predominantly on women. And we're not excluding males. We're not even opening up a conversation of sexism. We're just saying, unless we, again, become intentional, we're saying women matter not only in number, not only occupying space, by being leaders, by being given the support they require, and being allowed to make decisions not to occupy space only. So the Women African Tourism Board, WATB, is a critical institution in advancing Africa's development agenda by placing women at the center of economic and social progress. We work to ensure that women move beyond participation to leadership, driving tourism, trade, hospitality, culture, and creative industries with authority and visibility. Prioritizing women is optional. It is not optional, it is essential for sustainable development, inclusive growth, and the achievement of both the Agenda 2063 and the SDGs. I had most of us touch on the SDGs while I arrived. At the same time, we can no longer ignore the persistent and devastating reality of the gender-based violence, GBV, a global plague that knows no gender, race, and creed. So SWATB will stand firmly as a voice for protection, empowerment, and accountability, recognizing that as a continent, we cannot prosper when women and girls are under threat. My topic, I'm wrapping it up saying redefining the tourism for economic development for women, technology, and the future of African prosperity. Tourism remains one of the most powerful economic drivers in Africa. It is more than leisure. It is culture, it is heritage, it is identity, it is innovation, and diplomacy all woven together. But today, tourism cannot be discussed in isolation. It has become part of the value chain of growth. When you look at everything in this room, I can already give you 5 elements of tourism. Top of my head, it's a clothes, exactly what I'm wearing. This comes from cheese. All the clothes we're wearing come from there.
This is from Sierra Leone.
There we go. And half the time, the limitation we have when we speak tourism is that we all want to own a hotel. We all want to have something to do with hospitality. There's nothing wrong with that. But tourism is hidden in everyday life, in everything that we're doing, because we're speaking performing arts, we're speaking literature, we're speaking, I said Nobel. So I would like us to say as I get off stage before I'm taken off, it's a pity I cannot continue, but I heard you, sir, talk of Your Excellency, speak of tourism. Can we be very intentional as we live here today to realize that your tourism in every community that you're in, you do have it. At local level, at local government level within your community, you do have a little stream that you can reach out and develop it into a massive economic generation. I see my brother at the back there with culture, Your Excellency, or Your Honor, or Your Royalty. That garment that you're wearing, the textile industry alone in Africa accounts for 38.5 billion every year. How many of us are designers? How many of us are understanding the textile industry? How many of us are just not enjoying looking good, but are starting to take our fashion as an element of money? And I'm not talking money only because I love money. I do love the finer things of life. I'm talking about money because we can gather every year in every room, every second. Unless we are economically empowered, we will not be able to change. It is a fact. So let us start identifying tourism as a sustainable tool. Oil is exhaustible. Tourism is sustainable. Thank you.